It's said that almost 1 in 4 pupils are bullied in school, and in the 90s, I was one of them. But stats like that don't tell the full story. They don't say what it feels like to have your best friends turn on you, to be made to feel like you are the problem, and to carry that weight for decades after. This video isn't just about what happened to me when I was 7 though. It's about how it shaped my life from that point on. It's about learning to speak up, to stand out and be heard, even if it makes you feel uncomfortable. It's about sharing my experiences and hopefully saying something that somebody else needs to hear. So, if you've ever felt like your voice didn't matter, this one's for you. I never thought I'd be making a video like this, but honestly, it's long overdue. For most of my life, I believed I had nothing worth saying, because being bullied as a kid messed with my head. It made me question everything. How I spoke, how I stood, how I moved, and the way my face looked when I did all the above. I carried so much shame. It felt like the world was just watching, waiting for me to mess up. I've been angry at myself for as long as I can remember for letting myself be treated the way that I was. But looking back, I think I just convinced myself that if I just kept my head down, I would be safe. The bullying obviously wasn't just words. It was the looks, the whispers, the smirks passed between kids like private jokes I was never a part of. It got physical too. I was shoved, punched, and kicked in the hallways of the tiny school I went to. I remember being hit in the face with a hymn book while sitting quietly at a table in class. And that is one of my earliest memories. One day, I snapped and fought back, but somehow I was the one in trouble, the one at fault, after years of being the target. One of the reasons I wanted to make this video was I saw a photo of myself before and during what I went through, and you can see the change in my face. The way I smiled and held myself was suddenly different. That experience didn't just chip away at my confidence, it took a sledgehammer to it. It ruined what my parents had been quietly building to that point. A kid who was confident, curious, and who felt like he belonged in the world. And it's taken me almost all my life to begin to find my way back to him. And I owe that kid so much. Actually, I just owe him an apology. For every time I let fear decide who I was allowed to be. For staying quiet when I should have spoken up. And for letting self-doubt drown out my own voice. I've made a habit of that, staying quiet and playing it safe. It's cost me more than I would care to admit. I dropped out of university, yet spent months unable to tell my dad what was really going on. Countless other times in my life where I've put off saying something out of fear. I've lost jobs, missed opportunities, and let my own potential slip through my fingers because I convinced myself that I wasn't good enough. And yet, in spite of all that, I've still managed to carve out a life for myself. I found my voice, even though it's took me a long time to actually use it. And if you're still trying to find yours, if you've ever felt like you had to stay small, play it safe, or convince yourself you had nothing worth saying, you're not alone. This isn't just my story. It's for anyone who's ever felt like their voice didn't matter. This is a space for you. A place without judgment, without shame. A place where you can show up without worrying about being too much or too little. If you're feeling up to it, drop a comment. Share a piece of your story because I'd love to hear it. Or just leave an emoji if that feels like enough for today. Thanks for being here and for adding your voice to this conversation. Because if there's one thing I've learned, it's that our voices are worth sharing, even when they shake. Let's catch up soon.